Hey guys, it's Mario here, and in this video you're gonna learn the 3 most common mistakes people make when they do intermittent fasting. So intermittent fasting is the hot topic of the day, of the week, of the year, in the last couple of years at least. And a lot of people have been trying out this protocol, and I see the same mistakes happening over and over again. So I just wanted to make a video to kind of clear up these things and once and for all, give you guys a nice little framework to work with when you're doing intermittent fasting. So the mistake number one that I see a lot when it comes to intermittent fasting is that people don't have a plan. So they just say, hey, I'm gonna do this intermittent fasting thing, but they don't really have a plan how they wanna lose weight, how they wanna lose fat, and what they're gonna do when they reach certain levels of body fat. So as your body goes through a dieting period, as you lose weight, your body will be changing. You're gonna be adapting to that deficit, and you have to have a plan in place to deal with those things. Specifically, what I mean is you want to have planned diet breaks. What that means that, let's say you hit it really hard, you go on a diet and you get your pound to 2 pounds to 3 pounds a week, depending what's your target, and you do lose that weight for a couple of weeks. Let's say 8 to 10 weeks in a row you've been losing weight, but why not take a diet break at that point? You want to stabilize at a certain level, because what the research says, what the studies say, that the losing weight itself is not a problem. The problem is actually sticking with that new set point, with that new level. And if you watch shows like The Biggest Loser, or if you know about the groups like Weight Watchers and all these things, I mean, it's simple. Losing a bunch of weight is simple. It just requires you to eat less and train a little bit more, that's it. But the problem is sticking to that new level, and that's where the diet breaks come into play, right? If you structure your diet, same as you would structure your training period, nobody would train 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and nobody who's actually successful does that. So the way you do it is you structure your diet to have an 8-week, 10-week period where you're really hitting it hard, you're on point, you're getting your calories, your proper macros, you're getting to your target. But then when you hit that certain level, you say, okay, time to me to go to a diet break, go to that maintenance level of calories, maintain that new level, stabilize a little bit at that level, which will help you recover mentally and physically. It's going to recover your sex hormones, your all your metabolic hormones and all these things, and will help you crush it further when you decide to go into that deficit again. This is a big mistake I see guys make with intermittent fasting and with dieting in general, but specifically with intermittent fasting, because you don't feel a lot of hunger in the beginning. A lot of people don't play these things into an account when they're doing the diet. They just go in, they rush in without having a specific plan. And that makes the diet very hard to sustain. And it also is the fact that it's kind of out of your control because it's not planned. Even when you have a week when you ate maintenance, when you went a little bit off track, it feels like it's creating stress. Anything that is outside of your control is creating stress. But what if that week is planned? What if that vacation is a planned maintenance diet break? That makes it a lot easier. Actually, they did a study where they tried to see what happens when people fall off track. And what really happened is they told people, hey, you're gonna diet for a couple of weeks and then you're gonna stop dieting. And they were expecting a lot of people to regain the weight back. It's usual that people will just yo-yo back, 85% of dieters fail and yo-yo back to their previous weight. But with this study, the study kind of failed because nobody gained any weight back. Because people were planning for the diet break. They knew it's going to happen, and they simply adjusted. They were looking forward to it, actually, and they went on a maintenance, and they crushed it a lot more when they got back into that reduced calorie intake, right? So plan for the diet break. It's going to do you well. The mistake number 2 is not honoring your food preference. I see this a lot in the fitness industry. Guys will just approach me, hey man, just give me a meal plan. Give me the set amount of foods. Give me the specific foods. Give me which foods I shouldn't eat, which foods I should eat. And really, would you want to eat the same foods I want to eat? We have different food tastes. Everybody has different food tastes. Maybe we like some of the same foods, but I can bet that not 100% of our diets will be the same. And one thing when you go into a diet is you really want to honor your food preference, because if you know the concepts of calories and macros, which I talk a lot about, it simply comes down to choosing which foods of those unprocessed healthy foods you really like, and then including them as a staple of your diet rather than taking on someone else's foods. Because you might not like chicken breast. I mean, I don't really like chicken breast. I'm totally kind of indifferent toward it. I like much more like turkey breast, beef, and these things, and I will include those in my diet a lot more than, let's say, chicken breast. And that's something that people might agree with. Like, someone might fucking love chicken, right? It doesn't matter. It really matters is that we're hitting our targets in protein and in our calories, but we're also eating the foods we enjoy, and that's a big part of it. Enjoyment is such a huge part of dieting and really sticking to it. Long-term dietary adherence, when we talk about sustainability, is not possible if you're not really enjoying what you're doing. And we talked about this a lot in like self-efficacy and all these things, and the majority of reasons why people fail at good habits such as intermittent fasting and dieting is because they simply don't find enjoyment in it. So make sure to pick what you prefer and structure that from the foods that you really enjoy. And now we're going into the final mistakes, probably the one of the biggest mistakes when it comes to intermittent fasting, and that is expecting some kind of magical fat loss effect from doing intermittent fasting. I mean, a lot of people that approach me, a lot of people that I talked about, it goes as far as like believes that it's gonna cure cancer, it's gonna feed the African kids, it's gonna like bring world peace, you know, like it's all intermittent fasting. I mean, spoiler alert, right? It's not gonna fucking do that. So what it does do is gonna help you manage your calories better. You're gonna feel less hungry in a caloric deficit. You're gonna be able to have larger, more enjoyable meals. Probably gonna sleep a little bit better because you're not gonna be eating right before you go to bed. You have that time window where you're gonna eat your food. You're probably gonna get some autophagy effect where it's gonna clean up your cells, like a kind of a natural detox. You know, it's gonna be a little bit more sustainable for some people who don't like to eat breakfast, who just wanna skip the first meal. But that's it, right? That is it. There's no special magical fat loss effect. And the basic principles, the things that intermittent fasting doesn't do itself, is doesn't manage your calories itself. That's still something you need to do. Doesn't get you enough protein if you don't do it yourself. It doesn't set up your macros properly. That's something you need to do as well. It doesn't train you. You still need to go to the gym, get appropriate amount of volume, frequency, intensity. These things are not handled by intermittent fasting. So it's not the magic fat loss solution that you're looking for. And the final thing is that it doesn't get you enough good sleep. And these things are fundamentals. If you don't get these 5, good luck, right? You will not succeed. And it's simply that people are looking for magic solutions and they're not really analyzing that objectively what it does to you. I'm not saying intermittent fasting doesn't have awesome benefits. I'm doing it myself. I mean, it's fucking awesome, but it doesn't give me an excuse not to do all of these things that I mentioned below, right? So that's it about the 3 biggest mistakes I see people making with intermittent fasting. If you notice yourself, if you haven't done one of these, if you have done one of these, actually I'm curious, so leave it in the comments below. Which of these are you gonna change in your diet? Which principle are you gonna apply in your diet? So leave that in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to click subscribe below. I know these videos get shared a lot, especially when intermittent fasting. So make sure to leave the comments below as questions, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.